My name is Sinead Stanley and I'm a commissioning manager at NHS Leeds Clinical Commissioning Group. I've been working with wheelchair services in Leeds to implement personal wheelchair budgets, or PWBs as we call them. This has been happening from the 1st of April 2018. The purpose behind personal wheelchair budgets is very much around enabling the person to have the wheelchair of choice.
Before personalised wheelchair budgets, people had two options. The first was to accept what Leeds Wheelchair Service could offer, and the second was to take a voucher to an approved supplier and buy the equipment themselves.
PWBs enable the person to have more control over the choice of wheelchair. The person can actually have an NHS wheelchair, or they might choose to have additional accessories with the wheelchair, or they can actually obtain their wheelchair through an independent provider.
We have noticed an increase in people going for the notional plus option, so they are choosing to top up either to upgrade a wheelchair within wheelchair services or to spend it on an additional feature of the wheelchair. What will happen is we will do a prescription form for the piece of equipment. We will then ask for the payment for the top up from the service user. In some cases, this may be from charitable funding, or it may come from the person's personal health budget. We will then order the equipment and then it will be brought to the Leeds Wheelchair Service and we will arrange to hand it over with the service user.
In the past, the wheelchair was just like, this is what you're getting, and it was just kind of, that's it. There was no scope for adaptations or anything like that. So this new process, when I contacted them and we met with the Sunrise medical representative, it was just like kind of, you get your standard chair, but then you can adapt it to the way that kind of suits Isabel better. So there was things like the seating, but and then we also said that we do quite a lot of like going out to places like Bolton Abbey, things like that, where a set of outside tyres would be better.
They're like mountain bike wheels, and they're quite knobbly, so they don't dig in to grass and things. It
enables people to go on different terrains. They are then able to access more outdoor mobility, which they couldn't do before. They can spend more time doing family activities.
And then Isabel wanted sparkly front casters that shine, so it was so much easier to kind of have extra bits. She gets to choose, it makes them feel more independent, having her own kind of say in how she wants her chair to look, feel, the choice of colour, the wheeled spoke guards. It just makes her feel like, well, it is actually my chair and somebody's not actually telling me that, oh, this is what you get.
I'd say for the first time I've actually properly sat down with someone and actually looked at what my proper needs were for a new chair.
So we saw you a couple of weeks ago in clinic for an assessment. Yeah. What were the problems that you had last time?
Mainly that, the chair's getting old and a bit more kind of unpredictable with charging times. The backrest is getting very uncomfortable with the actual backrest kind of cutting in under my armpits. So I think the personal wheelchair budget really kind of sat down and said, look, what might be the best chair for me that's still practical and can still go at a reasonable speed but actually properly meets my needs.
The wheelchair service provision is unique because it cuts across lots of different areas of a person's life.
The seat raiser has been an important one for me, not least for going out and socialising with friends, so I can actually chat with them at the same level, particularly if you go anywhere noisy. Trying to chat with someone who's standing up and at a different level, it's very difficult to do. So I can now come up to the same level as then, but equally if I'm out at networking events or out even doing talks where I'm at the front of a room, it could be difficult for people to see me. So being able to effectively come up to the same level that I would be at if I was standing up without a wheelchair is quite important, and just for that general feeling of being able to, almost effectively stand like anyone else in the room. Other important ones for me have been actually being able to adjust the leg rests, because I've had circulation issues with my feet over the last year, getting ulcers in between my toes, and being able to adjust that myself has been an important feature that I've wanted to have. I think for the first time, this process, in the same way that my personal health budget, it's actually looked at my needs and my outcomes with absolute parity. So rather than just saying you can only have a chair that meets these needs, you actually want to be able to do something with that as well, what I certainly do. And so treating those two absolutely equally has been fundamental for me in terms of giving me the flexibility to live that independent lifestyle that I want to.
By working in partnership across the system with health and social care, there's real opportunities to support people with their wheelchair of choice.